Jo, prosím tě, Pavle, jedna věc, na kterou jsem zapomněl. Ty rozhodčí, co jsou za cílem, teďka ke konci závodu, začali strašně jezdit cílový čáry a rozhodnuta. Teď jim byli dál, aby to domluvit. No ale ke konci nejezdili, padá. Jo, dobrý, já jsem tam někoho viděl, že bych ti to ukázal, no. Dobrý, okay. Teď už odsouvali, relativně. Ta pětka číslo 5 je ještě docela blízko, mohla být o trošku dál, ale to dobrý.
Number 25, C1 man 500 meters, each one. Lane 2, Great Britain. Lane 3, Germany. Lane 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are slowly preparing ourselves for the first afternoon's heat, which is gonna be C1 men on the track of 500 meters. In this race, number 25, we have very similar advancement key as in the morning block, and it's 3-2 boats straight to the final, then 4th till 7th boat to the semi-final. And one of the fastest boats in the late 8 will go to the semi-final as well.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the first heat of the afternoon's program. Let's see who will be competing on 500 meters. Lane number 2, Great Britain, Thomas Lambert, Konrad Scheibner from Germany, and lane number 3, lane number 4, and representing Italy, it's Mattia Alfonsi, Sergei Tarnovsky, representing Republic of Moldova, world champion on 500-meter distance. To his right, there's Manuel Fontan, representing Spain. His best performance was the 5th place in 2024, followed by athlete from Bulgaria. That's gonna be Breslav Georgiev and Peter Kijek from Slovakia in lane number 8. The advancement, like Albert mentioned, says that the fastest 3 athletes will be heading straight to the final A. Hence, we'll see 2 heats. In the other one, there's gonna be Martin Fuchsa, who is the world
No, I think
best time holder.
Yeah, you're right. And I also might add that Konrad Robin Scheibner, representing Germany, was second in the 2023 World Championship on the track of 500 meters in single canoe. He has also won the World Championship on 500 and then 1000 meters in year 2021.
And so the lads have took off, and 25th race and first of this afternoon has started.
And also Manuel Fontan, representing Spain, has won the under 23 European Championship in the C2 500. So definitely stacked up heat. We'll see if anybody is willing to challenge Sergei Tarnovsky, representing Republic of Moldova, in the 5th lane.
At the moment, it's Moldavian who is sharing the first place with Mattia Alfonsi. So the 4th and the 5th lane, as we're approaching the split halfway through. Like I mentioned, almost tied on top. Battle for the 3rd place between Bulgaria, Spain, and Germany. Don't forget to mention Slovakians, as they're well known for their strong finish.
But at the moment, just these 2 lanes, lanes 4 and 5th, representing Italy and Moldova, battling about the 1st place in this heat.
Great second half from Konrad Scheibner. German in lane number 3 is still trying his best. Hard to tell whether is it going to be enough for his Spanish competitor. So last 20 meters, Sergei Tarnovsky is paddling for the victory. An advancement to the final A, followed by lanes 4 and then probably lane number 3. Those are basically the unofficial results.
Yeah, I must agree, from our standpoint, it seemed like Moldovan representant Sergei Tarnovsky is advancing to final A, followed by Italian and then German athlete. But we need to mention those are unofficial results, and we'll still wait for the official ones. Of course, there is still probability of them having their boat underweight. Hopefully that isn't the case, and I'm sure it isn't. But we can't take anything for granted.
That's true. It's unusual, but not impossible. Slow motion of Sergei Tarnovsky.
exquisite technique once again. Definitely for any younger canoeists, it's great to look at those masters at work, and we can definitely take some inspiration from it. And as we have said, it was confirmed by the referees. Sergei Tarnovsky is advancing from the first place. Then we have the Italian representant and then the German athlete advancing straight to the final. But after all, it isn't a finished story because we still have the semi-final before us.
That's true. Let's see who's starting in heat number 2. Lane number 2, Daniel Fejes, Hungary. In the third lane, representing Ukraine, it's Pavlo Altukov, another medalist from the Olympic Games. Another seasoned vet, as you can see, third place from European Championship at 2015. That's 10 years already ago. How time flies. Lane number 4, and Catalin Kirila, Romanian, and silver medalist from European Championship in 23 and gold world champion from the same year. Lane number 5, Martin Fuchsa. His last gold medal was in 2023. He's pumped up and anxious to start. Holder of the world and European best time, Stefanos Dimopoulos from Greece in lane number 6. Another athlete who made it through to the final A on 1000 meters. So that Catalin Kirila and Martin Fuchsa. Viktor Glazunov, Polish canoeist in lane number 7. This is definitely another stacked heat.
And also it would be interesting to add that in 2024, in the World Championship, there was a split decision on the first place on the track of 500 meters between Petrov and Tarnovsky. They have both received the gold medal. The race is underway. As predicted, the fastest start was by a Czech athlete in the number 5, Martin Fuchsa. He's the one who's leading at the moment, paddling closer and closer to the half point of this race, closely followed by Catalin Kirila, representing Romania, and also athletes in the lanes 7 and 2. In the lane 7, we have a Polish representant, Viktor Glazunov, and in second lane we have Hungarian Daniel Fejes.
As we're getting closer and closer to the finish line, you can hear some drums and chants from the fans, which we always love to see and hear. And I'm sure that athletes, even though they're trying their best on the racing course, hear that and gives them that loud stopping. Martin Fuchsa still in the lead, followed by Romanian and Polish athletes. But we cannot forget about Daniel Fejes from Hungary in lane number 1, who's still competing for the third place.
As we also see the race field bit widening. The only one who is able to challenge Martin Fuchsa is Romanian racer Catalin Kirila, but it seems a bit more favorable for Martin Fuchsa. Then it was the Romanian athlete, and on the third spot we proudly saw Daniel Fejes representing Hungary. Martin Fuchsa looking great as always in his signature long sleeve white shirt.
So basically that's what Martin does. He just starts faster than everybody else and then just leads whole race until the victory. Hasn't lost a single race this year. Won kilometer in Szeged and Poznań. Added 1 gold medal, 500 meters in Poznań as well. Since Olympic medals, he's almost unbeatable. Hopefully he'll bring this good form to the final day, which is gonna be on Saturday. He's also competing with his brother, Petr, on the C2 500 meters. We are also thrilled to see how it goes.
And where else than on the home soil he should have brought his best form, and as far it seems as he's doing really great.
So here's the confirmation: Martin Fuchsa, Katalin Kirila, Daniel Fejes. Those are the 3 athletes who are advancing to the final A. Unfortunately for Polish canoeist Viktor Glazunov, followed by Pablo Alchukov, Stefanos Dimopoulos and Dario Maximovic, are heading to the semi-finals. Heat 1, K1 women, still 500 meters. Tell me, Albert, who's starting?
In lane 1 we have ICF refugee Saman Solani. In the second lane, Latvian representant Madara Aldina. In the third lane, representing France, Salaya Lefloun. In the fourth lane, representing Belgium, Hermien Peters. Fifth lane is owned by Zsoska Chikos, representing Hungary. Sixth lane belongs to Czech athlete Barbara Vetlachová. And then the 7th lane, Great Britain, Emma Russell. In the 8th lane, Polish racer Anna Pulowska. 9th lane belongs to Finland, Neta Malinen. And we are underway. The advancement key stays the same. First 2 to the final, 4th to 7th to the semi-final. And really strong start from a Polish athlete, Anna Pulowska. She's doing really great job. Only one who's able to challenge Czonka Chikos in the 5th lane. But of course, 500 meters track isn't that long as a kilometer one, but a lot of things can happen to the finish line. And we see 2 lanes particularly, or 3 lanes particularly, battling at the moment. 4th, 5th and 8th. We have a Belgium, Hungarian and Pole.
Anna Pulowska has a great form this year, as she won the previous competitions at the World Cup. It was either at her home ground in Poznań or also in Szeged, beating even the strong New Zealand athletes. So that would be a big disappointment for the Polish crew if she didn't make it to the final A.
It seems so she will, but really strong finish from the Hungarian athlete in line 5. She's closely followed by the Belgian one, but we see her not being able to put that great finish as her Hungarian colleague. But the finish was quite simple here. First place taken by the Hungarian, then the Belgian, and on the 3rd spot, still advancing to final A, the Polish racer Anna Pulowska.
The Polish maybe even didn't have to give her all, and perhaps saved some energy and stamina for the following races, as she's still advancing on the first non-advancing place for the finals. Barbara Vetlachová, under 23 years old, world champion and Czech homegrown athlete, is advancing to the semi-final.
But those are the races and experiences you gain that are really valuable, and we are sure that she's going to put a lot of effort in the semi-final. But even if it doesn't go by her plans. We for sure can see her in the future.
And I do have some fun fact for you. We know that not all the races are the same, but if this heat was in last year's final of the European Championship, it would be enough with time 1:54 to secure the gold medal for the Hungarian, as she battled for 1 minute and 54:03.
That's a great time. Fortunately, the wind has dialed down a bit, so it isn't that windy as it was during the lunch break, but the conditions aren't still perfect. Let's go through the presentation of athletes.
In lane number 1, there's Portuguese Ana Brito, Laura Pedruelo from Spain in lane number 2. Third lane, and Swedish paddler who is Julia Lagerstam. Milica Novakovic from Serbia in lane number 4. Pernil Knudsen right now on your screens, representing Denmark in lane number 5. Sixth lane, Ukrainian Natalia Dokienko. Lane number 7, Lucrezia Zironi from Italy. Estelle Dam from Germany in lane number 8. Followed by Selma Konin, Dutch kayaker. It was a representative of Netherlands who got herself a silver medal in Poznan. 500 meters. So as the ladies are off, brilliant first 100 meters from Milica Novakovic, Serbian paddler, shows that the sprinting genes has simply everybody in Serbia. We'll see where she will hold the lead.
At the moment, she looks really great, but we also need to focus on the Swedish athlete and the Danish one as well. In the previous heats, not only in the kayak but also in the canoe, we saw a lot of switching in the last 100 meters, battling for the advancement positions, and really nice race offered to us with the athlete representing Netherlands, Selma Konin, in lane 9.
Like we mentioned, Dutch athlete, bronze medalist from Poznan, shows that she has a good form and will definitely be competing for the medals in Final A. As we're approaching the last 50 meters, it's still between Serbia and Netherlands. Fight for the third place between Sweden and lane number 7, Italy.
But it seems a bit more
that
favorable.
will go to Sweden, that's true. Even Lucrezia Zironi knows that it probably won't be enough. So great start to her European Championship by Milica Novakovic.
A flawless race, start to finish, dominating. That's what we like to see. But like Dutch representant put up a good effort, and I think she's also pleased with her form.
Even Julia Lagerstam is satisfied with her performance. Look at the start from Serbian. That's really something.
That's the best case scenario, when you don't need to calculate form, tactics and so on. Just go forward and go for it and it served her well.
So here's the confirmation. Serbian, Dutch and Swedish athletes are advancing to the final. The rest are heading to the semis, and we're going for the first heat of K1 men. Let's see who's there. Lane number 2, representing ICF refugees, Ilya Nadernayed. In third lane, we'll see whether they will go like in a previous race, Serbian and Marko Dragosavljevic. Like you said, huge fan of Superman.
He's not wearing his jersey yet. The
Still not
Superman
final.
jersey. It's not final.
Gunnar Eide, Norwegian in lane number 4. Adam Varga, world champion and European gold medalist in lane number 5. Also Olympic silver medalist on 1000 meters. Torbjørn Rask, Danish athlete, lane number 6. Olympic champion on 1K and world champion on 500 meters from 2017 Racice, and also from 2024 in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, Josef Dostal. Etu Kolemainen from Finland in lane number 8. Only the first athlete will advance straight to the final A. The rest are unfortunately heading to the semis. Josef Dostal on his second race. The first one didn't go as planned. Advanced to the semifinals after defeat by Fernando Pimenta. Adam Varga has won both World Cups this year. So in Szeged and Poznan as well. Josef Dostal came second and third. So both of them are in a great form. You can see the difference between their tactics, as Josef Dostal's
Like to stand behind a
everywhere
bit,
coming from behind.
then attack.
Whereas Adam Varga likes to lead all the way. Kinda similar to Martin Fuchsa.
But Norwegian athlete had a really good start. We'll see if he holds on.
A large gap between Hungary and the rest. Josef Dostal, great finish. But the gap between him and Adam Varga is getting larger.
No, I would say it's getting smaller a bit. We'll see if Varga holds his place. But Josef Dostal seems to be attacking. And it doesn't look that bad. But now Varga puts
More
up
than one bolt.
a bit of a frequency and power to the strokes. Doesn't want anything to happen to him. He just goes straight to the final A, and then wonderful finish from a Danish representant.
Torbjørn
Was
Rask finished third.
Yeah, that was like rocket-like finish. Amazing.
Incredible. So he will join Josef Dostal and Marko Dragoslevic and is advancing to the semifinals.
Fortunately for the Czech athlete, the track wasn't a few meters longer, because with the speed that the Danish racer had at the finish, it would be really tight.
That was incredible. So Josef Dostal, a bit unfortunate again, will have to paddle his way to the finals. 1 kilometer and 500 meters as well. But we're
Or maybe
wishing
we
him
can,
luck, and hopefully he'll make it through.
or maybe we can debate if it isn't the tactics. But with his performance, it didn't feel so, like he was holding back that much. But sometimes going to the semifinal, having the option to feel the track a bit more, which we are sure he knows by hand, is great, but maybe it will be an upside for him.
What we also have to mention is that Josef said he wants to have a 1 year off after the Olympics. And he fulfilled his dream, won the Olympics, has a fiancée who is expecting and should be about to go into the labor in few days. So I'm sure that he has a lot on his mind. And even though he has a quote-unquote year off, his performances are incredible.
For sure.
Elite athlete. Heat number 2, K1 500 meters. Daniel Karakolev, Bulgaria, lane number 2. In third lane, Italian Francesco Lanciotti. Julom Keller from France in lane number 4. Fifth lane, João Ribeiro, Portugal. Sixth lane, representing Ukraine, Vladislav Voloshin. Tom Lutz from Germany in lane number 7. Eighth lane, and Dutch paddler who is Milan Decker. João Ribeiro, also medalist from European Championships, has won a World Championship with Fernando Pimenta in Baltimore Oval Hall. That surely will be one to look for. Immaculate start from Portuguese, which was expected, followed by French and Italian. So at the moment it's 5, 4 and third lane.
That's a nice line. Tight at the beginning, that's what we like to see. All the lanes 4, 5, 6 are performing, 3, 4, 5 are performing really well at the moment with a bit of a lead. Francesco Lanciotti from Italia.
But this camera angle doesn't say it at all, as it
doesn't.
seems like it's German. Tom Lutz, lane number 7, who's in lead, followed closely by Francesco Lanciotti, then João Ribeiro in third place, trying to get rid of Julom Keller.
But we see really good performance from those athletes. Definitely those heats are bit more heated, as we can say, because of the only one continuing to a great final. Now it's lanes 3, 5, 7.
João
Ribeiro. Really good finish from him. He was holding back a bit. And that was a wonderful finish by the Portuguese athlete.
That was solid performance. Started, was the first, then got into his tempo and performed in an incredible finish.
Waited for a bit, and when the Italian and German athletes thought they were battling for the first place, he went straight through for the first place, which means advancement to Final A.
So Tom Liebscher, going under name Tom Lutz, the starting list, will be heading to the semifinals, and with him it's going to be Francesco Lanciotti or Julom Keller, as João Ribeiro is advancing to the Final A. Yet another final for Portuguese paddlers. So João Ribeiro, Fernando Pimenta, and others will be competing on Saturday and Sunday for medals.
They seem to have really good form for those years European Championship. And it's also amazing, as we always like to mention, that Czech Republic is a small country, and then we have those big accomplishments in sport. For Portugal, it's quite similar. They have exquisite paddlers, great football as well. It's nice to see those countries performing. And now let's get back to third heat, where in the second lane we have Samuel Balázs, representing Slovakia. In the third lane, we have the Swedish athlete Martin Lattel, was 9th in the European Championship on this track in the year 2023. In the fourth lane, you can see a Spaniard, Alex Granieri. Fifth lane belongs to Przemysław Krosak. In the sixth lane, that's Latvia, and the representants Arias Mamontovos. And closed, but not less important, Slovenian Mateusz Manfreda.
Red flag was changed for the white flag, so we're just about to start. Let's take off and look at number 5. Polish athlete Przemysław Korsak shows that he knows he's probably the best sprinter out of those.
Number 2 as well, the Slovakian had a great start. I think he might be leading at this moment.
Seems that way. Samuel Balázs, followed by Alex Granieri, Spanish member of their very successful K4. And Mateusz Manfreda, Slovenian, in lane number 9, still in competition. Yeah, the intensity gets higher with each stroke. Look at those times, only 0.3 of seconds between the first 4 athletes, as only the first one will advance to the final A. It's probably not gonna be Mateusz Manfreda or Sandis Mamontovs, so it's either lane number 2, 3, 4 or 5.
I think the Polish athlete might be leading at this moment, but it's really close battle with the Slovak athlete.
Let's remember that strong finish by the Danish athlete. Anything can happen in the last few meters. Look at lane number 4. Alex Granieri from Spain is proving my words right. And also Samuel Balázs from Slovakia. So it's going to be Spain or Slovakia.
It's Slovak racer,
Slovakia. So first grand final for Slovakia. We were mentioning small countries, Portugal or Czech Republic. Slovakia is even smaller and also produces great athletes. Samuel Balázs advancing to the final. He's gassed, but I'm sure also happy.
Great work by Samuel Balázs. Maybe even a bit undercover by the side where our grandstand is.
That's true. But what a race. That was the last heat of K1 men. Now we have a 12-minute break as we're switching the distances. We're heading for 200 meters and Paracanoe KL3 women.
Varga? No, no, no.
Dobře, že tady má ťák. Co se směješ? musel si ty batohu tadyhle.
Já jsem připravil do bytu, tam na to,
Když chtěl říct, jsem si říkal, že to bude kupuje.
jak přijel jsem tady, celá tady, se tady, ale já se to klouzal, ale všude tam není.
Ale moc se netočím, takže jako to je v pohodě. Vždycky si najdu šuter, na kterým stojím.
We're back with the presentation of the first heat. Ladies on Paracanoes. To be precise, it's KL3 women, 200 meters in lane number 3. Katarzyna Kozikowska from Poland, Spanish athlete in lane number 4. Araceli Menduina, European gold medalist and defending champion. Followed by German, 5th lane, and Felicia Laberer, European champion from the previous year, and 2023. Also won bronze medal at the Paralympic Games in Paris. So another decorated athlete. Followed by another one, which is Nelia Barbosa from France, world silver medalist and Paralympic silver medalist from 2024. That's lane number 6. And in 7th lane, Great Britain and Lindsay Thorpe, European silver medalist from 2023.
She definitely accompanies her national colleague, Laura Sugar, who have won the World Championship in 2024. She is Paralympic champion in 2021, and she also holds the European best time and Paralympic best time. Those will be, if she's of course training with her, those are valuable sessions, and hopefully bring her to a better form that she'll show us here.
Like you've mentioned, unfortunately, Laura Sugar is not competing in this European Championship, so all the pressure is on Lindsay. Let's see the advancement, which is the same as it was for C1 men, and the first 3 ladies are advancing to the final. The rest will be continuing their way into the semi-final. So Araceli Medunia from Spain, lane number 4, defending European champion.
Start line, all opposed to the start line.
And we're just about to start.
As we have found out now, Laura Sugar is competing in the next heat, so we will have the opportunity to see the reigning world champion. But at the moment, all eyes are on women in heat 1. We have the white flag, and the race is underway. Really strong finish from start from a lane 6, representing France, Nela Barbosa.
But I get what you're saying, because 200 meters is such a short distance that even the start is basically the finish. And the silver medalist from the last Paralympic Games and French athlete that we can see right now, her strokes, which are getting her closer to the finish line and probably to the victory in this heat. Incredible performance. Battle for the second and the third place, which will also secure the advancement to the final A between lanes 4, 3 and 5. So is it going to be Felicia Lambert, Aracia Medunia or Katarzyna Kozikowska? Probably it was Spanish and Polish athletes, according to those unofficial results. But what a monumental victory for Nela Barbosa.
Tight race as well, but she dominated from the
Start to
start.
finish. Oh yeah.
That of course was a mistake, but in her appearance, maybe it wasn't. Her start, as you have mentioned, was a bit like her finish.
Araceli Medunia, Spanish paddler, was already 50 years old, still competing with much younger athletes and still dominating them.
Those are the years in water, the strokes, those minutes in the gym, in the kayak, whatsoever that count. And she showed us that she needs to be accounted for.
Indeed, and she claimed second place in this heat. And tomorrow we'll have a chance to fight for the medals.
But the women discussing afterwards how the race went. That's always nice to see. And with the official results from the referees in the first place, French athlete, then Spain, and then Polish athlete advancing straight to the final A.
Second and last heat of this category is just about to start. Laura Sugar is just about to show us why she is the Paralympic champion. But in lane number 3, defending 4th place from 2023 and 7th place for Paralympic, Amanda Embriaco, Italian. In lane number 4, Claudia Fischer, yet another German. It's quite easy to tell because of their boats, just pink, and then the top of the boat is in German colors, thus yellow, red and black. Maria Jimenez, lane number 5, 7th place in European Championship 24. Laura Sugar, Paralympic champion and owner of the European best time and Paralympic best time, which is 47 seconds. That's incredible. I'm not sure if I ever paddled that fast.
Even in your prime.
Even in my prime. Nicoleta Molnar, representing Hungary, lane number 7.
The women seem to be going to the starting blocks at the moment. And the race will be underway by any minute. Probably by any second.
So the silver medalist from the Paralympic Games has already advanced to the final. So what about the gold medalist?
And once again, really good start from the lane 6. Here we have Laura Sugar representing Great Britain, accompanied by Amanda Embriaco from Italy.
Also lane number 5, Maria Jimenez is holding her own and at the moment paddling for almost 2nd place. Don't forget about Nicoleta Molnar, Hungarian, also fighting for the 3rd place. But Laura Sugar shows why she became last year the gold Paralympic medalist.
Yeah, she's in her league of her own, but really nice finish between the boats in lanes 3 and 7.
Calm last few meters for the Spanish shirt, Maria Jimenez, followed by Amanda Embriaco. So Great Britain, Spain and Italy, according to the unofficial results, should be advancing. Nicoleta Molnar and Claudia Fischer should be heading to the semis. And I'm also interested to see the time. How fast did Laura go?
It will be nice to compare it, to have some sort of background for this year's form on the European Championship taking place in Czech Republic, in Racice. I don't know about you, but just seeing them in those slow motion pictures, I wouldn't be able to tell a difference between Paracanoe
And Canoe. Yeah, me neither. Those athletes look natural doing it and are good at it. So it's already confirmed. First place for Laura Sugar, 2nd Maria Jimenez, and 3rd Amanda Embriaco. There you can see it, 47.4. That's just 1/10 of a second short of the best European time. So maybe if she was competing to the finish line, she will break her. She will break her own record, hopefully in final. Always in a good mood. That's the Laura Sugar that we know. KL2 men and their first race. Tiborkish, Hungary, lane number 3. Erik Dabrowski representing Poland in lane number 4. In the 5th lane, there's Mykola Sinyuk from Ukraine. There he is, European gold medalist
1 minute to the start.
from 2024
Come to the start line.
and world champion 2 years prior. Javier Reja, Spanish yard in 6th lane. And Mehdi Dehmanj, French athlete in 7th lane. Still the same advancement as the first pre. Will be given the opportunity to skip the semis and move forward to the final A. The rest will have to compete in semifinals.
And we have some problem at the start, maybe.
Seems like there is nobody in lane number 4. So probably only 4 athletes.
Yeah, it seems so. So Tiborkis, representing Hungary, needed to change his lanes. Because Polish athlete is probably not attending.
Making it more easy for his rivals.
But it's great that they have installed the see-through starting blocks for the championship. That there aren't the yellow ones that you can't see through. And then it was quite easy to destroy
Your boat, that's true.
your boat. Also, it's a bit more fair because you can see all the boats stacked up. Because in the 200 meters mark, even the small margins when
Can
you
make a
are
big difference. That's true. Just for fans and spectators that are maybe not too familiar, don't know familiar. Thank you. You have to be pushing the top of your boat towards the starting capsule.
because if you aren't, you have few spare centimeters and you can start your stroke a bit earlier and then have a bit of an advantage.
And you can gain some momentum. There's Patrick Dabrowski.
It's
So-
great to see him attending.
So for the Polish fans and fans of parasport, this is great news. Oh, that was very unfortunate. Seems that Patrick Dabrowski won't be able to attend.
But that happens, there is no shame in it. It probably happened to all of us. But our safety boat is going to help him at the moment, and race will be starting in just a few seconds. But that's quite curious situation, because if he went in the water before the start and they help him, I think he'll have the opportunity to start again. Because if it would happen in the race, he would be disqualified. But as it happened before the race, I think he's able to compete.
I think you're right, Albert. We'll see how the referees will handle this situation. But since all the other athletes are going back from the start, I think you're right. And the Polish athletes will get another chance to start in this race.
Race 35, Paracanoe, KL, men 200
meter. Please also proceed to the start area. Please proceed to the start area.
So if you can hear the announcement, the athletes were asked to proceed to the starting area. So right now it's anybody's guess whether Patrick Dabrowski will join them or not. It's even tougher since it's about disabled athletes. It's not as easy to put him back to the boat.
But fortunately, there isn't that big of a language barrier between Polish and Czech, so I'm sure those guys can figure it out. Maybe it would be helpful if somebody attended his boat as well, and probably the paddle. You can't start without it. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so what's the most fascinating to me is everybody's just spectating and nobody's going for the boat. Yeah, there go. I don't know whether the referees are allowed to help the athletes.
Probably not.
Probably
If it
not.
would
then
be
that
so,
would make sense, yeah.
if it would be so, they would have helped for sure. Or at least that's something we think.
Yeah, those are only our faults.
Race 34, please come to the start line. Race 34, please come to the start line.
So the first heat of KL2 men is just about to start, even with Polish paddler, which we're happy to see. And the race has begun. Lane number 5 and Mykola Sinyuk, Ukrainian, who is also the European champion from
Race
2024,
35, Paracanoe KL men 200
leading the way
meters
from the
heat
very
two.
first strokes,
3
followed
minutes
by
to the
Tibor
start.
Kish,
Come to the start line.
Ukrainian in lane number 4.
Yeah,
lane
that's a
number
tight
3.
battle. That's a tight battle, but still looking more favorable to the Mykola Sinyuk representing Ukraine. He's doing really well, but Tiborkis isn't leaving anything behind on this racetrack. Still first 3 boats straight to the final A. So even if he didn't win this fight, which he probably didn't, he is advancing to a final A together with, I think it was the Spanish athlete, Javier.
Indeed it was.
Yeah.
Javier Tibor Kish, Mykola Sinyuk. And with an applause from the fans on the stands, Patrik Dabrowski was unlucky prior to the start. He's just about to finish this race and he will be rewarded with the
a
advancement to
semi-final.
the semi-final. We're happy to see.
Yeah, every race counts. Fortunately, all happened before the race, so those are credible results. And we'll see him again.
Truly. And even though it may sound like a cliche, everybody in this category is a winner.
Of
But
course
the
they
official
are.
winner is just one, and that was Mykola Sinyuk, battling with the orange hat, representing Ukraine, and on his way to defend the European triumph.
And now we are going to see second heat of Paracanoe KL2 men on the 200 meters track. And our athletes have already went out of the starting blocks, so let's go through them. In third lane, representing Serbia, Strahnian Bukvic. In fourth lane, for Italy, Christian Vlopi. In fifth lane, Poland, Krzysztof Stanio. In sixth lane, Ricardo Janquera, representing Spain. And in seventh lane, from Great Britain, David Philipson.
And it's David Philipson who's following his colleague Laura Sugar, and probably is the closest athlete in this heat towards the victory and the finish line, as he wins right now, followed by Christian Volpe and Strahnia Bukvic. So Great Britain, Italy and Serbia are all advancing to the final A. Fourth place for the Spain, Ricardo Janquera, and Krzysztof Stanio from Poland is also advancing.
The Great Britain Paracanoe team seems to be really in shape, but we'll also mention that they are going in the footsteps of Lime Heat.
That's true. Lime Heat, the Olympic winner from Rio de Janeiro Olympic Games 2016.
And also in the Olympic Games of 2012.
So the victory for Great Britain, second for Italy, third place for Serbia.
I'm gonna correct myself now, because the 2012 Olympic Games that took place in London, one of Great Britain's and McKeever. But I think they were teammates with Lime Heat, and they trained together, and then he took the torch, as they say, and continued.
Which we may say it's even more difficult. You know, back-to-back gold medals for the Great Britain, won by different athletes. That's incredible. Heat number 1, and that's from KL3. Eric Gish, Hungary in lane number 3, lane number 4, and Robert Oliver, Great Britain, the European champion. Gabin Kirill, France, in 5th lane, lane number 6, and Juan Valle from Spain, and 7th lane, competing for another great result, is Andrei Sivkin from Ukraine.
The advancement key stays the same, first 3 boats to the final A. And they are flying towards the finish line. They are holding very steady rhythm. And it seems to be really close. At the moment, holding the lead from Great Britain, Oliver, Robert.
But what about Spain?
Right.
Lane number 6, Juan Valle.
It's really nice finish.
Only the first 3 will make it straight to the final A. First place for Spain, then it was probably France and Great Britain.
So
Ukraine,
close.
just a bit shy of the advancement.
But it was down to a photo finish.
It surely was. But the first place by Juan Valle should be undoubtable. Thumbs
Even
up.
think so too. And he even wasn't the best one with the start. So he had to cover the difference in the track.
Which he did and overcame the rest of his buddies, securing victory. And another final A for Spain. Here's the confirmation. Juan Valle, Gabin Kirill, Robert Oliver heading to the final A. Time 42 seconds. That's really some time. Heat number 2 and the last heat of Paracanoists. In lane number 2, Jonathan Young, another British athlete, world silver medalist from 23 and European bronze medalist from 2022. In 3rd lane, Alexander Nedashovsky, Ukraine. In 4th lane, Polish Paracanoist Mateusz Survilo, who finished on a silver position in 2024. Gergo Danch, representing Hungary, in lane number 5. Lane number 6, Nicolas Martinez, that's Paracanoist from Spain. And in lane number 7, representing Georgia, Serhiy Yemelyanov. That was a world champion in 2021. There was a full start. As Alexander Racice has to get back. To the starting capsule.
A wonderful start from lane 7. Serhiy Yemelyanov, representing Georgia. He's flying. He seems to be like in a different class. That's exquisite.
If you were about to tell me that this is the heat of canoeists and not paracanoeists, I would believe you, because the pace, effort, and the technique that those athletes have is simply incredible.
But he's being contested by lane 2 and Jonathan Young, representing Great Britain. He seems to take the second place in this heat, and then it was probably the Polish athlete Mateusz Survilo.
Fourth place for Nicolas Martinez. What a 200-meter race by Serhii Yemelyanov, Georgian world champion in 2021. He's maybe thinking about maybe getting another medal. Jonathan Young secures another final for Great Britain, and so does Mateusz Survilo for Poland. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and anxious to see the start of C2 men on 500 meters. Another Olympic trek, which was won by a Chinese duo, who is obviously not competing since this is just the European Championship. Let's see the start list. In lane number 3, there's gonna be Ile Sprencan and Oleg Nuta from Romania. European gold medalists and seasoned veterans, as the gold was from 2018. In lane number 4, Czech Republic and Petr Fuchsa and Martin Fuchsa, as the older brother Martin is looking forward to secure third final A of today's program. He's already done it on 1 kilometer and 500 meters single canoe, and he'll try to do his best to secure the final with his brother. Lane number 5, Alexander Kitevsky and Norman Zezula, European silver medalist from 24. Followed by lane number 6 and Lithuania, Henrikas Žustautas with Vadim Korobov. Athletes who were competing even in 2014. European gold medalist from 22 and world champions. Those are lane number 7 and Danielo Grichaba with Adrian Siero, who are also the bronze medalists from Paris Olympic Games. The advancement is same as for the previous races, hence the first 3 crews will make it straightly to the final A. The rest will be heading to the semis.
So fortunately, all those canoeists we'll see in the semi-final or in the final, which is great.
How lucky.
Only one boat is going to be unlucky, I think, because in both heats we have 5 boats, so one of them won't make it to the final A. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be any easier race for them.
That's sure. We still won't be able to know who's gonna be the odd crew out, because that's gonna be decided in tomorrow's semi-finals. Lane number 6, Lithuanians, who are paddling on the same side of the boat, which makes it even more difficult, but seasoned vets from Lithuania, Žustaukas and Korobov, know how to paddle, and were probably even the fastest ones on the start.
Even if they are paddling on the same side, I know what they would answer to you, why not, which is something they have written on their boat. Their start was really strong, but now we can see advancing boats in lanes 7 and 4th.
Those
That's
have to be the Spanish and Czech crews. So the bronze medalist in 7th lane, followed by Petr and Martin Fuxa. What about lane number 3 and the Romanians? Sprigcean with Nuta. Also not that far behind, as after the split on 200 meters, still
really
Spanish
close.
yards in lead.
But still Spaniards in the lead, closely followed by the Romanian crew. We'll see if the brothers, Fuxa brothers, will be able to answer. Right now it seems to be that they are holding to 3rd place, which is still advancement to the final A. But the Polish crew is also paddling really fast towards the finish.
The Polish athletes, Kitevsky with Zezula, have the momentum and will try their best to advance to the final A. Victory for the Spain, 2nd place for the Romania, and that was pretty close as the Polish athletes have kicked the boat towards the finish line. And we have ourselves another photo finish.
Unfortunately for the Czech crew, it was really good finish.
It really was. Victory for Daniel Richaba and Adrian Sierro, who have still a good shape and great form since the Olympics, and will be one of the favorites to get themselves a medal. Look at Fuxa brothers, who are perhaps a bit perplexed. Don't know whether they finished 3rd or 4th, or maybe down inside themselves they know it wasn't enough.
But we'll see in any moment the official results from the referees. We just have to wait for a second. But nice close race for the athletes. Maybe it would be better if the gaps were a bit wider, but for the fans and for us, it's wonderful to see those kinds of close finishes. Now look closely to the Czech and Polish crew, and unfortunately I think it was the Polish crew. Their kick was perfectly timed. Maybe you are thinking to yourself that the kick is quite easy to do, you just kick the boat at the end, but it's pretty hard to time it. You need like precise timing and a lot of experience to do it well, because if you kick too soon, then you lose most of the momentum, and if you kick too late, then it's for nothing.
And now it's confirmed, so if there ever was a school for kicking the boat, Alexander Kitevsky and Norman Zezula would have a PhD. Let's go for the second heat and see who will be competing. Lane number 3 and Florin Banch with David Teppel, European silver medalist from 21 and world champions from 2023. Those are Germans in lane number 3. Fourth lane, Krzysztof Kolar with István Huszás, world silver medalist from 21. Gabriel Casade with Carlo Taccini, world champions from 21 and Olympic silver medalists. Those are representing Italy. Loic Leonard with Luca Laroche, French athletes in lane number 6. And in the 7th lane, there's Taras Mazovsky with Adrin Rybachok, Ukrainians. Immaculate start by Germans. Lane number 3. But as we're moving forward,
Probably
seems like a very tight race.
maybe the Hungarians leading a bit, but as we have seen many times today, that doesn't mean anything. Not yet.
Kolar with Juhats leading the way at the moment. We'll see how it goes at the split. Hungary first, followed by Germany and Italy. Then a small gap between France and Ukraine. Still in the game.
And they are still holding tight. You'll see if they have anything left in the tank. Just a few hundred meters left to the finish line. But we can see a dramatic charge from the lane number 4. Those are Hungarian athletes.
What a finish by Italians. Gabriel Casadei with Carlo Taccini, Olympic silver medalist. Don't leave any doubts that they're in good shape. And the first 3 boats, I would say, are pretty clear. It was a close finish between first and second. The first 3 crews are Italy or Hungary, and then on the 3rd place, Germany.
But it's still nice to see them race till the end, even in the heat. That just proves the
Competitive spirit that
competitive
everybody has.
spirit. Yeah, and the level of European Championship here in Prague, here in Racice, Czech Republic, quite close to Prague.
It's gonna be Prague one day, sure.
If we rebuild the Vltava River, might be possible.
Always love this slow motion.
And the timing. Timing that those 2 canoes can enter the water at the same time. I'm not an expert on canoes, but on kayak there should the second person enter the water with the paddle a bit earlier than the first one to push him a bit. I'm quite certain that it's similar in the canoe as well.
But on these C2s, you have to be perfect synchronized.
Okay.
Nation, which Hungarians were.
But I'm sure those guys have spent a lot of time together on the boat. It's quite usual that those boats are becoming best friends for life.
That's true, you have to be like one body. First heat of K2 women. In lane number 1, Dutch crew Selma Konjin with Ruud for Selman. They've paddled through the 8th place on the Olympic Games. Paulina Paschek with Pauline Jaksch representing Germany. Silver medalist from the European Championship, Kateřina Zárubová and Adela Házová. Their 2nd race today in Racice, their home soil. They will be representing Czech Republic in lane number 3. 4th lane, Belgium, Hermien Peters and Lise Brock. Federike Mathiesen with Sarah Milders from Denmark, world champions from 23 in lane number 5. 6th lane belongs to Slovenians, Mia Medved with Anja Osterman, world bronze medalist from 2019. Gundega Aldina with Madara Aldina, sisters representing Latvia in lane number 7. Lane number 8 belongs to ladies from Italy. That's Irene Belan with Meshua Maringo. Another well-seasoned paddlers. Maria Virik with Christian Amundsen from Norway in lane number 9.
And the advancement key stays the same. First 3 boats to the final A. 4th and 7th, 4th till 7th both to the semi-final. And one of the fastest boats on the 8th place from both heats is going to final as well.
The advancement gods were kind to us. Not to learn anything new. But let's get back to the race, as the Norwegians in lane number 9 are doing pretty well, and so are the ladies in lanes 4, 2 and 1, Dutch, German and Belgian athletes. And needless to say, even the ladies from Denmark, TSN with Milders, are approaching the split of 3rd place. Pink German boat entered the last 200 meters on the 1st place.
And Slovenians as well. They are there, I think, around the 2nd place at the moment.
That would be enough to advance to the final A, but let's see if Slovenian kayakers will hold on to their lead.
And they are having quite a strong finish.
That's true.
Maybe they'll be able to challenge the German boat that's still, I think, currently in the lead of the race.
Well, Belgians and then Dutch in lane number 1 and 4. Last 20 meters, still Germany in lead, followed by Slovenia, and 2nd or 3rd place for Netherlands.
Yeah, the Dutch crew really proved themselves.
7th place for young crew from Czech Republic, as certainly advancing at least to the semis. Another great experience and beautiful race in front of their home crowd.
Really valuable. And also, as we were talking about those small nations, Slovenia is also one of them.
That's true.
Currently home to one of the best cyclers in the world. The kayakers are not leaving anything behind.
Yes, with some Olympic medals even from canoeists, but those are in the category of slalom. German crew, Paulina Paschek with Paulin Jaksch, won this heat and are advancing to the final, followed by Slovenia and Netherlands. This is nice. Team spirit
2 minutes to the start.
among Germans and Dutch.
Come to the start area in your lane.
So here's the confirmation. Dutch, Slovenian and German crews are following their male colleagues and advancing to the final A, and we're just about to witness the 2nd heat of K2 women. Emily Lewis with Deborah Kerr, lane number 1.
In the 2nd lane, we have a Slovakian boat, Erika Bugar and Bianca Zidova.
Manon Otens with Vania Paoletti from France in lane number 3.
Blanka Kies and Anna Lutz representing Hungary in a 4th line. I think her father was probably competing in the Paracanoe before.
He probably was. Martina Klat with Anna Pulovska representing Poland. Those are 23 gold medalists. In 6th lane, it's Ukrainians. It's Maria Povk with Stijana Stalinova. 7th lane, Portuguese Teresa Portela with Ana Rodriguez. And 8th lane, last but definitely not least, 7th in the World Championship in 2023, Estefania Fernandez with Begona Lascano. Few seconds. We'll see the race. What goes through your mind, Albert, when you're in the start capsule and just about to...
It's better when nothing goes through your mind, just to focus on the track, leaving there all. But it's, when I'm watching the stream, it's really nice to see another almost full heat. We have 8 boats here, so tough competition for all those women. But at the moment, really the best of them are in the 4th lane. Blanka Kies and Lutz representing Hungary.
Number 42.
So the advancement is not granted for everybody. One crew will have to wait for their time, whether it's going to be enough to advance to the semis. But we're at a split, and Hungarians are just by an end of the boat in front of France. And probably closer to the final.
They are just trying to get their step in. Also, it's important to mention the psychological aspect when you are really going to the finish and you see somebody else being next to you. That's probably the case also for the Polish crew, which is probably the fastest at the moment.
Anna Puławska, who's competing at the highest level.
Last 20 meters.
Martina Klat are just about to win with the Hungarians. Closely second, battle for the third place between France and Spain. Whoa.
And I would say the third and fourth place was almost to the photo finish. That was exquisite race from the Spanish crew in line 8.
So Martina Klat and Anna Puławska were stamped as the unofficial winners. Second place should go to Blanka Kiss with Anna Lutz. That one was all between Spain and lane number 3. So France, final stands with Vania Pauletti. We'll have to wait a few seconds to see who was faster.
And Vasek, what was your favorite discipline?
Well, I would say it was probably 1 kilometer. It used to be, and still is, in the Olympic distance.
In the distance of champions.
And the distance of kings, as we
Kings,
call
yeah.
it. Yeah, but
Did you prefer single or?
I did like paddling in cruise.
Okay.
That was always nice, but it has nice ring to it when you're not just on your own on the boat and have to share all the emotions, whether are they good or bad, with your colleagues. There is nice kind of camaraderie. So yeah, definitely cruise. What about you? Cruise, or are you team single?
Probably the singles, but the crews were always nice. But you know, you are trying predominantly on the single, and then you can transition to the crew, which is always nice that you have also somebody else to rely on. But so we don't get a bit lost in our small conversation, let's continue to first heat of K2 men 500 meters.
Yeah, let's pay attention to athletes who actually made it.
Yes, sir. In the first lane, representing Belgium, Bram Skinnens and Artur Peters.
Angel Stoichkov with Veselin Valshkov representing Bulgaria in lane number 2.
The Danes are in the third lane, Simon Jensen, Magnus Sibersen.
Kalian Kosh with Francis Mouget from France in lane number 4.
In fifth lane, we have the Hungarian boat Levante Cruz, Mark Opelskis.
Those are defending champions. Lane number 6 and Serbians. That's Velikio Bielistica, and for the third time today, Marko Dragosavljevic. Hopefully he will get another chance to wear his Superman suit.
Lex Borucki, Valery Vichev. They are in the seventh lane, representing Poland.
Lane number 8 and Sweden, that's Dennis Kerner with Karl Broden.
And in lane number 9, representing Spain, Enrique Adan, Carlos Garcia. And the race is underway. Strong start from all the boats. Those guys are really strafing forward.
What a few, the first few 100 meters. Lane number
4 and 6. I would say.
6, yeah. Those are Serbians and French. As the Frenchman, Kilian Koch with Francis Mouget were being unlucky in Paris. and didn't make it to the final A.
But I have a time for recreation. Also, the boat in line 8, the Swedish boat. They are doing really well at the moment. Probably they were the best on the second half of the course.
Kerner with Broden, and their high stroke rate is leading the way at the moment, followed by Serbians and Hungarians in lane number 5. Don't forget about Belgians. Brent Skinners with Arthur Peters in lane number 1, still fighting for the 3rd place, but it's probably not gonna be enough.
The Poles are doing really great, probably leading at the moment. Then we have both in lane 6. The Serbians really did well as well.
Was it enough? We have ourselves another
photo finish.
So Alex Borutsky with Ari Vishchev are supposedly winners. But who finished third and second? That's hard to tell. Nobody knows, not even athletes.
But it's really nice to also see the younger guys competing here. Because I remember when I first saw Levante Cruz and Magnus Iversen on the start line, those dudes were pretty scary. And it's needless to say that they are scary even nowadays.
That's true. So happy gestures from Poles.
It's nice to compare the gentler ones that women do.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a slow handshake and really feel it in, and then the guys
Or just basically slapping each other.
with camaraderie.
That's true. You were talking about Superman. I can see some Flash t-shirts from Poles, so there's more than just one fan of superhero movies. Still no official results. That's how close the race was, so let's go to the second heat of K2 men. Oleg Kukarik with Ihor Trunov, Ukrainians and European gold medalists from 23 in lane number 1.
In second lane, Richard Prius, Martins Aldins, representing Latvia.
Iago Bebianu with Fernando Pimento, Portuguese in lane number 3. World champions from 23 and Olympic 6th place.
Then in the fourth lane, on the home soil, we have Jakub Spicar, Daniel Havel, representing Czech Republic.
Trying to break those 4th places that they're finished from the previous championships. Mindaugas Maldonis with Andrei Olinik, Lithuania's finest in lane number 5.
And now we have Jakob Schopf and Max Lemke in the lane 6.
Lane number 7, representing Italy, Samuel Burgo with Tommaso Fresci.
And in the 8th lane, we have Markelus Petropoulos and Roland Kupas, representing Republic of Romania. I think this is gonna be a really tough heat for the Czech crew. The advancement key is still the same. First 3 boats are advancing to the final, so wish them luck.
We'll see how it goes. As usual, not a strong start from the Czech crew, as they are well known for their incredible finish, as they've already shown on K4. And I believe they do have the advancement to the final A on their mind.
But you know, there is the question, what means strong start in this category with those athletes?
Well, I would say at least a start that the Germans have shown, who are leading the way. Jakob Schoff with Max Lemke. One is Olympic winner on K2, the other Olympic gold medalist from K4. Also a nice mixture of 1 kilometer and 200 meter experts who met in between on 500 meters and are on the first place.
But the Lithuanians still holding tight. Probably they are the ones who want to advance from the second place to the final.
Look at lane number 4, Albert. Czech Republic at the moment on the third place and fighting even for the second. Germans still holding on their tied lead, followed by probably Lithuanians and Czech Republic.
Go on.
Ukrainians won't be able to make it, so it's Germany, Lithuania and Czech Republic. Fourth place for Ukraine as they're advancing to the semifinals. Another final A for Jakub Špicar and Daniel Havel, who are following Mindaugas Maldonis with Andrei Olejnik and Jakob Schoff with Max Lemke. Those are the 6 athletes and 3 crews who are advancing to final and will be battling for medals.
Wonderful finish, we might add. And it was perfect to have this kind of race to be the last one of today.
What an ending!
The closing one. So there is always something to look forward, because tomorrow we'll start with C1 man on 1000 meters track, which is of course an interesting race. It will be closely followed by men on the kayak as well, the preferred distance of Joseph Dostal. So we are looking forward.
He will have to battle his way through to make it to the final, but we have our fingers crossed, and so do the fans here in Racice, Czech Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the first day of 2025 European Canoe and Paracanoe European Championship.
And we thank you a lot for listening to us. We'll hear each other soon, and hope you have a great rest of the day. It's sunny, nice weather. Go enjoy and look forward to tomorrow.
Thank you very much and see you tomorrow.